Who's this going on?
You are. I don't know what it means.
Welcome to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell. I'm here with my great co-host, Hannah.
Hello, people.
Hannah, we're here today for 1989 movie draft, and we have guests. As usual, we have the great Danny McCarthy.
Hello, how are you?
Back for more punishment, losing the 1992
What
draft.
do you think is more impressive? Do you think Penrith's 4 in a row or my undefeated streak in these drafts?
Both are not real. And we also have a special guest. Last time it was producer Nick. He's on the show. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's about time I got the call up. Thank you very much.
About time. You are terrible. Hannah.
Yep.
1989. Why did we choose this draft year?
Some of the great movies are from this year. It's one of the best years. You know, like
Well,
even pop culture history. There's a lot of stuff that.
Let's talk about that. But because before we started this draft, there was actually a little bit of a ranker if this was actually a good draft or not. Danny, your thoughts?
Oh.
Well, completely different opinion to yours. I actually thought it was quite bad. Like I would say, if you were using your ranking system, I played on my phone. I think there's only one all-timer in this draft.
Wow.
And that is obviously Batman. But
I feel like there's two.
That is
three.
criminal.
Yeah.
That is criminal. There's
There's like two. Or
Honey, I
three.
Shrunk My Kids. Is that a great?
Yeah, that's a banger.
Yeah, that, you know.
Yeah.
you
This
got Last Crusades. You've got one of the greatest romantic comedies of all time. Harry Met Sally.
Lethal Weapon
Lethal
2.
Lethal Weapon 2.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Two, the West one.
Yeah.
You are right.
No, like seriously,
You're right.
a terrible Oscar year. Like we
Oh.
go into what happened in the Oscar
I've got
year that year, but good popcorn movie year. It's a really deep draft when it comes to that comedy, especially. It's a great year. What were you guys doing in 1989, Danny?
I was 4.
Yep.
And not had started school yet.
Huge.
Living in Teapoy.
Yep.
In a little town.
Little town,
Yeah.
New Zealand.
That's about it. Probably playing some rugby on a Saturday.
Well,
Yep.
Nice.
a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Running around.
I was 8, and it was a huge time in my life. Just falling in love with sport, playing around with horses every week. It was huge. Great grand final year, NRL, and it was New South Wales Rugby League back then. But it was huge. Extra time it went to. The AFL grand final was like 144 to 138. G. Ablett kicked 9 goals. What a legend. Made me love Geelong. Nick, what were you doing then?
Well, I
4
was
years old?
4 years old. Yeah, I was 4 years old. Just living my dream. Transformers every day. It's
Being an absolute menace.
not to my recollection, Peter.
Mate, you were a menace as a child.
Well,
Dan said nothing.
True or false? True or false first. Did you bite me ever? True or false? Over or under 4 times kicking me in the groin.
look,
100% over.
I plead the fifth on the first.
Take the over.
I plead the fifth, and I 100% took the over and kicking you in the groin. That's just good.
Every
that's
chance
good.
he got, he just kicked me in the groin for no
Wholesome
reason.
family fun for everyone.
Absolute family fun. Hannah, you went around.
No.
But what was the first movie that you got introduced in the
This year?
Yeah.
It would have been Batman. I was raised on it.
You were raised.
I was raised on it. I was raised on it so much. There's a prep, like when I was in kindergarten, note to Santa, and it says I want a Batmobile, and I kind of try to draw the Batmobile from 1989.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how
issues.
far it goes.
Is that issues or what?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Speaking of Batman, what a movie Joker Folie à Deux was, Danny.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice take on it.
Yeah.
Really liked the singing. Thought it was nice, great acting, good storyline.
I really enjoyed it as well.
You know what I forget? You're also the
Good
same.
courtroom drama.
Yes.
Courtroom drama.
Courtroom drama and a prison drama.
And a musical.
And a musical. What would you want?
You're the same people that like Beau is Afraid. I don't know what I expected.
True. True.
All I can say is 1989 had the best Joker of all time and the best Batman.
Oh, and also had a great.
Jared Leto. Disagrees.
Also had a great prison movie. Great prison movie this year.
Oh, are you talking about the great Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, Lock Up.
Lock
Great
Up.
prison movie.
Fantastic.
Might come up on the draft. Also, people that hate Joker Folie do just don't get cinema. They really don't. They really don't. There was a bit of a story about Joker Folie do. There was like a script they were working on earlier where it was going to be, you know how the first one's based on Taxi Driver? Well, the second one was going to be based on Silence of the Lambs, where there was a serial killer that actually had an attachment to Arthur, and Harley Quinn was going to be the psychiatrist working for the police department, and then hooks up with Joker.
Yeah,
Like that would have been
that's great.
That would have been huge.
Yeah.
Rewrite that movie. So draft this week, this month, categories are action, drama, Oscar nominee. It can be any category. It doesn't have to be the top of the line. It can be any category. It's just a deep Oscars. Comedy, horror, thriller, blockbuster. This time it's worldwide $70 million. Rotten or Not has to be lower than 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. 40%.
Yeah, 50,
Yeah,
40.
40%.
Whatever.
Yeah, 40%.
There's a drop
wild
off
card.
with a lot of movies.
Let's talk about Oscars before we choose the names out of the hat. Notorious, terrible year for the Oscars.
This someone got nominated in one of the categories.
Yeah.
One, like, for what he was to what he sent and got, how he acted and what he got nominated for. It's hilariously bad. What was it?
What was it?
Marlon Brando.
Oh.
Yes. I was looking up that, and then I read about the movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, how did he get nominated for this?" Oh my god, yes, huge. But Drive Miss Daisy won.
Yeah.
And Oliver Stone won for Best Directing for Born on the 4th of July, and Driving Miss Daisy won Best Picture, so it was split. Bruce Beresford directed it. He's an Australian guy. Unbelievable that one. And Do the Right Thing didn't get nominated.
Yeah, no, got nominated for.
Didn't get nominated for Best Picture. I only got
Yeah.
nominated for Screenplay.
Yeah.
A travesty.
It's travesty.
Absolute travesty. Great movie.
Not, it didn't get more.
Let's pick order.
Yes,
I
let's
think
go.
it's really important here. I think it's 1 or 4. I think.
You want one? You got 1 or 4?
I think 1 or 4.
Yeah.
I think it's 100% 1 or 4.
I think it's 1 or 4.
I don't
all
want
right.
to pick it. I don't want to touch it.
You have to pick. You're the co-host of this show.
Okay, cool.
Okay, go.
I don't like this one already.
Yeah. And number 1. Oh my god, it's Denny.
Danny.
Yes.
So I've lost.
Yes.
It's over.
Yes.
I don't
Go.
want to do this anymore.
Go.
This is
I'm so happy, Danny. I'm so happy for you.
It's so good.
Make sure you get Harry Met Sally, all right?
Yeah.
Really just
Nick,
Nick
you're,
is 2.
you're 2.
Solid.
I'm ripping it up. Me,
oh,
3.
oh no.
4. It's huge.
and then it's Peter.
Yeah. Okay.
There needs to be an investigation. There needs
Yeah,
to be
can
an
I wanna
investigation.
see
Open it.
I
I
don't.
didn't touch him. I didn't touch him.
Okay, Denny. Number 1 pick.
So I thought long and hard about what I was going to choose if I chose first, but I really wanted to start the draft with a bang, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Obviously, I think this guy is the best director that's ever done any directing.
Oh,
And this movie is just an absolute banger.
You talking about Tim Burton?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm under
Wait.
wild card. I'm taking Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles.
wow, you're so. I love when you start the draft because you go from like I'm
It's-
thinking you're gonna take something and then you just like throw a curveball. in
Okay,
there.
why did you take this?
I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a puppet. It's Peter
I
Jackson's
feel like-
second movie.
Oh my god.
I
It's,
have heard of
It's
this.
like puppets, but they are. It's like the Muppets, but they're like bizarro Muppets. They're all like
yeah, kind of.
drug addicts. Like the scene opens and there's like a cat having sex with a walrus, and then there's this. It's just crazy scenes, and I thought that was a good opportunity to get Peter Jackson some recognition.
Oh my
for him
God,
in the draft.
Speak on your love of Peter Jackson.
Well, if you look at his IMDb, it's really interesting that he actually got Lord of the Rings. I don't know what they were expecting. It's just movies that he directed were really interesting, and then boom, Lord of the Rings. Like
Yeah.
he's like had did I think the one he did.
It was the Frighteners that he got Lord of the Rings off. It was,
was it?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was Michael J. Fox.
Michael
he
J.
did,
Yeah.
he did Heavenly Creatures,
Yeah.
Frighteners, and then Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they loved the
Michael J. Fox found out that he had MS during that film.
filming. Yeah, that's correct.
If you like the Muppets, if you like weird stuff, gross stuff, crazy stuff, this is definitely a movie that you would enjoy.
The biggest
watching.
thing,
And that's also the movie that Kate Blanchett saw, and that goes, I want to go do Lord of the Rings with that guy. I'm not getting paid a lot of money, but I want to go do it with that
Meet the
guy.
Feebles.
Yeah.
You know what I can't believe is like this is the same guy that did The Lovely Bones.
Yeah.
Like
He's
unbelievable.
very eclectic.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine him doing this movie now.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's but I guess that's how we got to start, and it's worth a watch if you're a cinephile.
That is a weird
I
pick because
know.
wild card normally you choose last because you know you can get whatever you,
You just
want.
throw around, but
Like,
actually,
No one was ever going to pick that. Like, why would you pick that first?
but
Like,
he picked a strong direction
Okay,
to go with. I don't
yes.
know.
strong director,
That's-
right? Good times. Okay, Nick,
All right. Well,
pick two.
I guess
Nick,
if I've got to pick something, it's got to be
take a step back.
probably.
Take a step back.
Nick, think about yourself.
Do I want to be stabbed? Is the question I
Yeah,
ask
I'm
myself
right
when I do
next
this.
to you.
No, I'm going to go. My first category will be Oscars, and it will be
That's
probably one of the greatest duos I've ever seen in a movie together, and that would be Sean Connery and Harrison Ford in Last Crusade.
Why was it nominated in?
It was nominated for
For
sound,
sound?
and it won for mixing, I believe it was.
Good pick.
No, it's a good pick.
Indiana Jones
That is
and
your-
The Last Crusade
That is your
is
favorite.
Definitely
the best.
second best.
No,
Indiana
it's the
Jones.
best. It's easily the
That's
best.
the best.
Temple of Doom is unbelievable.
That movie shouldn't be as good as it is, but
Oh, what are you
she
talking about?
she talks in her
It's-
sleep.
She
Uh,
talks
like
in her sleep.
Steven
I think-
Spielberg and Sean Connery. Rats.
Sean Connery.
Rats.
Sean Connery
It's not
is just
snakes.
River
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, River Phoenix at
Yeah.
the start. And one of my favorite scenes is "You Lost Today, Kid."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hat
But
origin
it means,
story.
but you don't. It doesn't mean you have to like it. And you
And-
put the hat on, and then you wait, and then it's in that
Yeah.
back on the boat. It's great. And Hannah's favorite line, I think, is she talks in her sleep.
She talks in her sleep.
I'm gonna be honest here. The people that picked 1 and 2, why did you not pick Batman? Like seriously, like you can 1, it's a good movie. 2, you can tick off Hannah. Like that's the whole point of this podcast.
You know what? Actually, can I just say something? Like they picked wild cards, and you should have been one to go first. But
Oscar
the
nominee. is
Oscar
actually good.
nominee, that one's pretty good because you kind of need to lock that up quick because there isn't that much.
Well, there's heaps.
No,
There's heaps,
but-
but like
no,
they're
no,
not
no,
so
no, it
great.
wasn't-
You know,
No.
you should pick. You should
I
pick.
know what I should pick.
You should pick
and I'm not
Batman in
going
Oscar
to.
nominee. You should pick Batman in Oscar nominee. Art direction.
I did it because there was action is stacked
Actually-
in
Yeah,
in
action
this.
is stacked.
That's why you can't take
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
I
take
know.
things
But it's
like
really
that.
important not to take a couple of action movies because it's perfect rotten or not territory.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, so is my good?
Yeah, it's your pick.
Oh, guys, I think I'm gonna go with my box office hit,
Ooh.
and of course, I'm gonna pick Batman. I'm wearing the shirt and everything. It's probably my favorite live action adaptation of the character because it is really like so different from the source material. This one in a weird way, like
Just copy
giving
it.
the origin
Just
story.
copy and paste from your last draft. You chose
That's a different movie.
you chose Batman Returns and you went off. Like
Yeah.
and if you didn't get Batman Returns the last draft, you threatened to storm off the draft. Like
Is this
It
one a
should-
rom-com as well between the Joker and Batman?
No. Oh,
Joker's in love with
oh.
mate,
well,
it was a rom-com Batman Returns. You know
a
it.
man that makes a movie. You know, like
Stop the presses. And one of my favorite
Never Rubber Man's Room.
one of my favorite TV actors of all time, Alice himself, is in this movie as Knox. Great movie. Knox is great in that. You've got Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh.
A lot of people at the time didn't think Michael Keaton could pull it off. He did. A lot of people
Yeah.
were wary of Tim Burton doing Batman because he did Beetlejuice and Pee-wee's Funhouse.
Yeah.
But they both pulled it off.
But let's talk about the most important thing of this movie. Jack Nicklaus took the back end on this
Oh
movie,
my god!
but he had 2 requests to this movie: the back end, and he wanted to hire his best friend to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
who's his best friend?
That's
That's
he's number
Yo,
one.
I'm a number one
Number
guy.
And
No,
and
Jack Nicholson got paid $100 million for this movie in
yeah, he
1989.
cleaned up.
Because of why he took the
Back end, yeah.
He's a smart guy.
This it has paid for his Lakers tickets the whole time. That's basically what he did it for.
Yeah, no. But the film itself is actually quite
And
good
I'm
as
pretty
well.
sure because the back end of it was also he got he didn't have to be in the sequel. He also got paid for merchandise for the
Yeah.
first, second, and third movie.
Nice.
So
the merchandise thing.
yeah,
Jesus.
that's what made him ridiculous amount of money. So really, Jack Nicholson, crazy,
You're like
beautiful.
he won.
and it's the best Joker. It is the best Joker,
Best, live action.
best live
Have
action
you seen?
Joker.
Have you seen Heath Ledger? Like,
Yeah,
seriously?
I have.
Have you
I
seen
have-
the
I have.
latest two Joker movies?
Jared Leto.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Joaquin Phoenix, like
What
step
about
up.
No,
Barry
thank you.
Keogh?
Does
Barry Keogh is the best thing he's done was date Sabrina Carpenter. That's it. He
Well,
was terrible.
yeah.
He was
I'm
terrible.
working late.
I love
Joaquin Phoenix
Saltburn.
has the best Joker laugh.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix did the best thing off
He's
sending,
technically not the
sending
Joker.
rats to people.
It
Oh,
doesn't.
that's
They don't.
Jared Leto, yeah.
Come on, the best lines come from Jack. Like, oh, it's gonna make you cut outside the lines, and then he does that great dance number. He does the great dance number
I don't-
in the
He's
when
more
they.
cartoonish, whereas
Yeah.
like Ledger's
that's
darker.
what- no,
and
but
then
it needed to
Leto's
be.
whatever Leto is.
It
at the
needed
end.
to be at that stage of the time. We had Superman, and all superhero movies were dead.
Yeah.
And they're coming off fast.
Babs,
Cool.
calm down.
That was a big. It was a big call by everyone on that
Okay.
movie.
I'd like to
Alright.
say I picked it, but I haven't need to talk about it at all.
I'll defend Batman to the my
Thanks.
dying death.
Okay, my pick.
And also, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. It's
Okay,
not
my
even a
pick.
joke.
I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time. It's been in my Letterboxd top 4. You can follow us on Letterboxd and Peter Hannah's watch list. Do yourself a favor. Great stuff there. I'm gonna pick it in a controversial category because I think this category is a bit weak. I'm gonna go in drama. I'm gonna go When Harry Met Sally. What a movie!
You're right. It is a weak area, but good movie.
Love this movie. Rewatched it many times. I just love the interaction between Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. You never thought that those two would be together. Like, it is just brilliant. Some of my favorite scenes are just with Billy Crystal and Bruno Kirby when they're sitting at Giant Stadium. They're watching a football game and they're talking about regular life while watching football, doing the Mexican wave. Like, I've been in stadiums with you talking about regular life, and it's just perfect. That's what people do. They talk about regular life while watching football, and then walking down the street, and they're like crossing the road going to a baseball game, and they're talking about regular, things that go. It's just a brilliant movie. Like, yeah, I'll have what she's having. Just at the start of the movie, he's chewing on grapes and he's spitting the seeds out, and it goes into the window. He goes, "I'll wind the window down." It's just, I think it's just brilliant. It really is really good.
One of the best lines in that movie has to be pecan.
Yeah.
Pecan pie.
pecan
I like
pie.
to partake of your pecan pie.
That the team of Billy Crystal and Barry Keoghan is City Seekers. They're
Bruno
great.
Kirby, yeah.
They're great in that.
Yeah. Well, directed by Rob Reiner, who directed one of our favorite movies, A Few Good Men. Like, for a guy that started off on a sitcom and his father was famous, so he's an Nepo baby. He did Stand By Me. He did A Few Good Men. He did this. Just wow! What an absolute! He did Misery with Kathy Bates. Written by Nora Ephron. Nora Ephron, who was married to Bernstein out of Woodward and Bernstein for the All the President's Men. They wrote had a Taurus love affair. So yeah, and she went on to write You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle. Great. I just love When Harry Met Sally, and I'm glad it fell. Very surprised it actually fell to 4. Tough. Next choice.
Yeah, you have the field.
I do have a field.
Where's it gonna go?
I'm going to go with. It's really tough. It's really tough. I might go Oscar nominee, and in Oscar nominee, I'm going to go Field of Dreams.
No.
Yeah, this movie as a kid, throwing the ball with your dad, like
If
if you build it, like, how did you, like, why did they come up with that story? Like, I know it's based on a book and it just makes no sense.
no,
But
it's radical.
it just
Like,
makes no
doesn't make
sense. But like the fact that that movie worked and it was like so popular as well.
So you're saying that if you hear ghosts and they tell you to mow your cornfield, you're not going to do it? Come on, it's ghosts talking to you. Like you've got to do what you got to do.
What are the chances?
You got to go the
if
distance.
your loved one
You've
who
gotta go-
woke up one morning and was like, "Oh, I want to,"
Yeah.
would you do it? I just think you
No
basically say you're
way.
crazy.
No way. No way you're crazy. You divorce the guy. And then the daughter's like, they're playing baseball. And then she chokes on the thing and goes, oh.
The first scene where he walks out and it's just Joe,
Yeah.
and then he's like, he sucks. He's
Yeah.
because he's pitching to him, right? And he
Yeah.
keeps like, oh no, he's hitting to him. That's right.
Just-
and he keeps, he keeps going.
Yeah, because he's
Oh,
like, James Earl Jones in this. We
Yeah.
lost him this year,
Oh,
but he's
Ray
great in this.
Liotta.
Yeah,
That one.
Ray
That one
Liotta.
as well,
Oh,
yeah.
great. Yeah. Amy Madigan as the wife.
who's
Kevin
the
Costner.
jerk? The jerk brother.
Oh,
Danny
Timothy
Kincannon.
Buston and
Yeah,
Jenny
yeah, yeah.
Kincannon out of the West Wing.
Yeah.
Little Gabby Hoffman.
My favorite Danny.
She's the daughter in this. Just a really good movie. Really good movie.
One of my favorite movies as a kid. The Field of
Yeah,
Dreams.
and it still holds up. I couldn't believe how well
Is
it
a
holds
sports
up.
movie?
It is a sports
It's
movie.
not.
It's, and that guy Kevin Costner, did he do any much more after that?
I think he might have
Yeah.
saved Whitney Houston's life in Bodyguard.
Fantastic.
Goes
Great
on to do
movie.
that.
Hannah, your next pick.
Interesting. I could go anywhere. I
That's
could,
you
but I'm
could
gonna
go
go
anywhere.
with Oscar,
Oscar.
and I'm gonna go with Do the Right Thing.
Oh wow, good choice.
I watched this movie this year,
And why do we watch it, Hannah?
for the AFI Top 100 list, it is actually on that list. Surprisingly enough.
If you haven't listened to the AFI Top Podcast, it's great. I do all the research for it. Hannah just sits there and looks pretty.
I just go, wow,
Wow.
wow, that's interesting.
No, it is a good podcast, and it's one of our favorite things to do every week. Like rewatching a movie for me, and then Hannah watching it for the first time, and
Yeah.
it's just like interacting with that and doing the research. It's just really good. So if you haven't done it yet, yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, no, but Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee movie. It's actually, this is one of those movies I was just like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
It builds up this story because it's just set in a neighborhood, and you kind of have like this like heat underlevel like subplot where it's really hot and everyone's like tensions in the neighborhood are rising, and it all culminates in this like horrible like fight in this pizza joint, and it's one of those movies that you just like, wow, I'm so glad I've watched that. It's so cool.
Denny,
But very funny and comedy. It's very many famous people.
have you seen this one?
I have not.
You
Have you seen any Spike Lee movies?
I would have to look up a list of them.
Malcolm X is
Yeah,
absolutely
Malcolm X, yeah.
fantastic. He's worked with Denzel Washington,
Black-
Inside Man.
Black
Have you ever seen that?
Inside
Klansman?
Man's a
Is
great-
What a
is
great
Black
movie.
Klansman also?
Black Klansman.
Yeah.
Did with John
Yes.
David Washington
Yeah.
and Adam Driver.
That one.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable, that movie. You know what else is really good? He did a movie for Netflix about these returning soldiers for in Vietnam. It is a really good movie. It stars Delroy Lindo. It's also has Chadwick Boseman in one of his last performances. A really fantastic, like he's remembered for his basketball fandom as well for the New York
Yes.
Knicks.
That's usually how I knew Spike Lee before I
got
watched
Game.
this movie.
He got game. Like The Bloods, that movie is called the one where they go back
25th
to
Hour?
thing. 25th Hour,
Oh,
like that is
25th
just a
Hour's a great-
great movie. You know, he's made some terrible movies as well. Like the remake of Old Boy wasn't great as well. But you know, what a legend.
Yeah, but Do the Right Thing.
Do the right thing. He
it's-
actually stars in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
actually good. He doesn't overpower. You know, it's got Samuel L. Jackson also.
Samuel
in it.
Jackson, yeah.
But the movie, like, yeah, I'm so glad it's on the AFI Top 100. I would argue it's supposed to be higher on this list because it's just really good. It's just a really great movie. I would love to just rewatch it and just see like you can pick out like how it's building and all this stuff.
Great
I love
great use of music and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well. Like it
Dialogue,
is
great.
like it is
That's
strange that they didn't recognize the young filmmaker on the way up because that's what they normally do, the Oscars.
Yeah, yeah.
And to the fact that they only gave him like a Oscar a nomination for writing is very strange as well. Like
Has he ever won an Oscar?
Yeah,
he
they
won it for
did.
Black Klansman
Oh yeah.
for writing. So, but like some of these movies, like Malcolm X, is just an absolute heat check performance. Like
Yeah.
he's great in that as well. Denzel Washington, like it's really hard to know why he didn't win for that movie. He is just brilliant in that movie. That is
My
Hannah's-
Oscar, yeah.
Oscar nominee. Nick, your next pick.
So I'm going to go with 70 million, and I'm going to go with
Go.
this could be shots fired. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Great movie.
Wait, what?
I'm taking
I
that
did
at 70.
not expect
It got 73.5 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably easily the most rewatched Christmas
the-
movie.
Christmas
It was
and
highly-
and the vacation movie.
It was highly chosen on our Christmas draft. Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, some iconic scenes in that.
It's just absolute so
It's so
funny. You've got so many just ridiculous scenes in that with
Julia Lee Dreyfus,
She's
great in that movie.
great in that movie. You've got obviously Leonard.
Leonard,
in it.
yeah.
He's in
It's
it.
one of
Julia-
the kids.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, Julia Lewis is one of the daughter. And look,
Which out of all like the things, is it Randy Quaid coming in doing his thing? Is it the sled where he goes on the sled? Is it the tree at the start where they go
The tree
into
at the
the
start's pretty funny.
into the car?
Look, that
All
scene,
the lights, like you just. I know putting up stuff like that, you just get so frustrated.
No, but it's when you see that cartoon at the start of the movie,
Yeah.
you know you're in for one of the
Yeah.
a banger of a movie because that is just so good. And then it's
John
straight into
Hughes movie.
one of the most unhinged scenes on the road,
Yeah.
and then into the
Christopher
tree
Pine.
tree chopping,
Yeah.
and then it's on, and that movie just goes. It's just too funny. That the whole scene up in the attic where he's sitting there
Yeah.
watching old movies, and then he falls through.
Just like all his family in the house as well, like just the interaction with the grandparents and just really good. The dog, and then he's like drinking the eggnog. He's like, just really good stuff. Really good stuff. Do you have much relationship with that movie?
No,
Not really.
No, I probably watched it when I was a kid. I didn't rewatch it though.
Yeah, it's it's one of our Christmas Eve.
and it's got my favorite Christmas song in that movie.
Milliken.
Yeah, that's right, Hannah.
yeah,
It's
Bing Crosby's
Bing Crosby's
Hawaiian
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's just
Yeah.
classic. It's just
Yeah.
classic, and it's in great scene. He's,
Well, if we didn't get kicked off this, I would start singing it. Denny, you got 2 picks, mate.
Yeah, very excited.
Huge.
I've got to take it because it's
You-
still on the board.
Mate, you-
I've got to take it.
It's
I cannot believe. Go back to your first pick being
Meet the
Wild
I-
Card.
Feebles.
but-
Meet the Feebles.
I kinda like the
You
pick.
guys should watch it. It's classic. It's an absolute classic.
All right,
Anyway,
Denny.
but
I kinda like
so I'm going to take in Blockbuster. Weeks. Lethal
Yeah,
Weapon
there
2.
we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
must.
it's just an absolute classic. These movies are the reason why I think I like movies. This franchise.
Yeah.
And
Says a lot about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's good to see South Africans as villains because they are.
All right. We were
Um,
true.
All right.
We were chatting last night, and you came up with a great point. Is Riggs actually good at his job?
I don't think.
I don't think he is.
Because
Oh,
when they go up to the house and
Yeah.
they go to investigate.
Yeah.
If they just tried to get a warrant or something.
Yeah.
They will build a case. He
Yeah.
just goes in and then that whole thing.
No,
they
there's
can't
no
use
building
any
a
of it.
case,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you know who I think is good,
Yeah.
but he gets railroaded by Riggs, and he's got off there. He's Murtaugh because he
Yeah.
figures out the boat, Arva
Yes.
Varden, all
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
No, he's a good cop.
He figures it out. The first one as well.
okay, yeah, he has time for that. Riggs was very important in
Riggs is
was
no.
pumping a person of interest for
Yeah.
No.
He's
for
doing that.
information. He was pumping her
Riggs
for
is-
information.
He was literally pumping
pumping
her for interest.
information. Yeah,
He's the reason she died.
Yeah,
He wasn't
Yeah.
careful about it all. He
Yeah.
used her, and then
Yeah.
obviously they were going to
he
kill her.
used her in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Like Patsy Kansas in this. Oh my god, she's
And
so
then it's
tricky.
like all sad and stuff.
She was attached to one of the Gallagher boys. Like, unbelievable. Liam,
Yeah.
please,
No.
great. Some great lines in this. We're back. We're bad. You're black. I'm mad.
Yeah.
Right up there with but you blick.
Yeah.
Diplomatic immunity.
It's just.
We also get
River.
Joe Pesci as
Oh
well.
yeah, Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Great
Great.
performances there
He-
gets.
Is there a better?
Okay.
Is there a better 3 movie stretch from an individual? This is his 3 movies: Lethal Weapon 2, Goodfellas, Home Alone.
It's pretty good.
No, you don't get better than that.
Different action movie, comedy movie, and Goodfellas.
There is a couple
Drama.
of people that have the stretch that's pretty good.
Yeah, but-
Kevin Costner's stretch from 89 to 92.
But not better.
But like that's like 3
That is 3 movies back to back. It's
or
iconic.
virtually.
Are you including Dances with Wolves in there?
That's a great movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, I like it, but I'm saying,
Whoa.
is that as good? Is that on the same level as like Goodfellas?
Babes, boring.
100% on the.
That's huge.
It's better than Goodfellas.
Underrated thing
Yeah.
for Lethal Weapon. I know we talk about Lethal Weapon a lot on this podcast, and even number two, it is. Even number 2, it is the music.
Yes.
Eric Clapton works on this. It is unbelievable.
One thing that I noticed that was quite ironic is like how much Riggs gives the South African shit for being racist.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's like
Babes, I cannot believe that you thought
he
that.
seems to be quite popular in Hollywood, Mel Gibson. Like he's
Keeps coming back.
he keeps coming back, and like he's got like seems to have a lot of connections and people that kind of do.
He's good friends with Robert Downey Jr.
Like what was
Yeah.
it? Andrew Garfield said something about in the other day.
Oh, yeah, because they directed in that movie.
He deserves. Everyone deserves a second chance. Well,
Yeah.
he had a few chances.
Yeah, out of many chances.
Yeah.
Babes, you're boring.
Diplomatic immunity. It's
Just been
revoked.
Next choice, Danny.
Glad I got that one.
That's
Glad I got one. All right.
I got one.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Rotten or Not,
Oh.
and I'm gonna do Kickboxer.
That's probably your. That's one of your
It's-
best. That's the best
It was.
to go for.
It's
right
so.
now.
It was an interesting rewatch. It's one of the most appalling acted movies I think I've ever seen in my life.
What about when he's drunk?
Jean-Claude Van Damme cannot act at all, and then they do this funny thing where it's like they're obviously brothers, right? But
Yeah.
and it's obvious that how can these two be brothers, and then they have because they know that this is a massive plot hole. There's like a scene like halfway through the movie where they're like walking down and they're like, oh yeah, where our parents got divorced, and then he grew up in America and I grew up in.
Babes.
And did you know that Jean-Claude Van Damme is the inspiration for Mortal Kombat Johnny?
No,
Yes, I did know
did
that.
not know that.
I did
Yeah.
know that.
Also,
And I was because I didn't know that, but when that guy as Tong,
yeah,
Yeah.
he
Tom
looks
Poe.
exactly like he's. I reckon he's also inspiration for Goro. I don't know if you
Wow, yeah,
That
I
would
do. Yeah,
be-
I do. Do you know, he's seen in where he's drunk. It should have been nominated for Oscar. That song, feeling so good today.
I was like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, is he trying to pretend to be drunk?
Yeah,
He's like,
it's just so good. And what about when he's like knocking over the pine tree? Because
oh, yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
like this, like this. Audio was just great stuff. Oh my god, what a movie! Like
Yeah.
seriously, what a movie.
No.
What was the rotten not on that? What do you
Oh,
reckon?
it's
pretty
low. It's
pretty
low.
I think it's like 17 or something.
Jean-Claude Van Damme movies are usually quite low, unfortunately.
If you had,
If you talk
I say
about
unfortunately,
if you
but-
talk about runner movies, like the runner movies that John Claude had, like, let's put apart from that 5 minutes that he had in Predator, he was in it for 5 minutes. So let's just remember that. Bloodsport, 88, 89 Kickboxer, Lionheart. How good is Lionheart?
Wrong bet.
Yeah, well, it was
Wrong
called
bet.
Wrong Bet.
Wrong
in
Bet,
Australia.
Wrong
yeah.
bet. I love that movie.
And then it goes Double Impact,
That's my favorite.
Universal Soldier, Hard Target. Mate,
Universe Soldier. I think
He's
we
an
picked that on
absolute.
the
I
last
picked
show.
that. That was my rotten or not.
and then it was Nowhere to Run as well.
36. It's actually higher than I thought.
It's higher than
yeah.
something
And
like that.
and there's also like another great scene where these two people come along to smash up his love interest's shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, please don't do anything. And he beats the crap out of him and absolutely trashes her
Yeah,
store. And he's
yeah.
like, oh, what did you want me to do?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly how he did it too.
What about when Tom Poe's fighting him at the end and he's like pointing to things what he's going to use?
Yeah.
It's just so
and like the scene where they're like, because they're getting ready to fight, right? And they put their hands in the glass.
yeah.
And then they're just dirty fucking things, and
What-
he licks it and
what-
he cuts himself. He
what
what about
about-
gangrene in his tongue?
What about like Hot Shots Part 2? Did that with the jelly beans. They did it with jelly babies. It's very funny. And also with that movie, what about when he's fighting the mythical creatures in Thailand?
Yeah. Because he
Yeah, he's like
tells
telling
him
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Just so good.
There's an
Real-
eagle and like
Yeah,
the ghosts of the former warriors.
just brilliant. That's actually
It's basically a rip-off of I don't know where the Karate Kid had been released, but it's like an
Oh
adult
no,
Karate Kid.
has.
Oh,
and then but then also Rocky
yeah,
Rocky
100%.
4 or something, you know, on Drago.
Great
movie.
Great choices, Denny. I think you're back. I really do.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm clearly out in the front.
Sure.
isn't
Nick, your pick.
Where's
Alright.
Where's it going? Where's it going?
Tough call. I'm going to leave that one just in case. I'm pretty sure that one will still be there. Look, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to go thriller.
Mm.
Probably one of the greatest thrillers of all time. And it's not in any other genre at all. And that would be Roadhouse.
Wow.
Wow.
Roadhouse.
Wow.
This is seriously. This is a long stretch that this is a thriller.
It is an action thriller, Peter.
Action comedy,
No,
It's absolutely hilarious, this
Look
movie.
it up, Pete. It says thriller, mate.
mate.
It says action thriller. Look,
Roadhouse. I'm gonna look this up.
yeah,
Right now.
look it up.
If it doesn't, 1989.
You look. It comes up.
Roadhouse.
Action thriller.
Ro-
Oh,
It
it does.
is-
Oh, look
it's
at
an
that.
action
It's an
thriller.
action thriller. Look, some of the
This-
great. It's
Look, if we're going to accept that Batman 2 is a rom-com, then we have to accept this.
We did do that.
well,
We did all
well.
and it was great. It was
Hold
very
on.
cool.
Well, that mine's actually
If
mine's
Batman's
officially.
2 is a Christmas movie, then this is.
that. It will.
Well, no, that is
Well,
a Christmas movie. That is Christmas. Okay, let's talk about
There's a
Roadhouse.
tree
It's Roadhouse. Like,
Roadhouse.
it's one of the best stories to ever come from Roadhouse. Like, we can talk about Roadhouse all we want, but the greatest thing is Bill Murray calls Kelly Lynch's husband
Yeah.
all the time when Roadhouse comes on and goes, Patrick Swayze is taking your wife up against a wall right now.
Yeah.
It is one of the, and it's all different voices. He does it.
What
every
about when the
single time.
guy? What about when the guy says to Patrick Swayze, "I used to do guys like you in prison"? Like, it's what a line! What a line! And just like the bad guy in this, like he's just off the chain in this movie.
the millionaire,
Yeah,
the millionaire banker? Yeah, he's pretty bad. But I got that whole scene where he rips the guy's throat neck out. It's just great.
yeah.
It's so good. The bar fights are great.
Sam Elliott.
Swayze's
Sam
just-
Elliott is next level in this movie. Like, I think Sam Elliott's just great in this movie, and the whole thing with the car, like hiding the car and getting a piece of crap because he knows he's going to get beaten up every single time.
Is there a better bad guy name than Brad Weasley?
Yeah.
Brad Weasley.
What were your thoughts on the second one compared to the first one?
The Jack Gyllenhaal. I didn't mind it.
That's not a sequel, mate. That's not a sequel.
It's a remake.
It's reimagined.
It's a
Reimagined.
reimagination. And look, Conor McGregor is amazing in that movie. I think he's great.
I like that movie. I don't know why.
It's that
I
is
actually like that movie.
that is a great movie. I think it's a
Definitely
great watch.
nothing to like the first one's brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I don't mind it.
I love it. I think the second one is just a great watch. It's a great popcorn movie. It's what the 80s movies were. You could go and watch a movie and you go, hey, this is what it was. It's not like, oh, I've got to be entertained for 2.5 hours now. It's
Director of this movie is called Rowdy Harrington, who also wrote Striking Distance with Bill
Bruce Willis
and
and
Sarah,
Sarah,
who plays a boat cop.
that is a great movie. That is a great movie. Striking Distance is a great movie. It's probably up there as Bruce Willis's greatest movies of all time. I love that. And it's got Sarah Jessica Parker in that movie. Oh,
This movie was written by a woman as well, and she wrote Wag the Dog, which is another great script as well. Like unbelievable. Yeah, also Blue Heaven.
just a great movie.
Yeah, not bad.
Take it to the thriller.
Roadhouse.
No, it's
Very
just
good.
Roadhouse.
bull crap. Nick, thanks for your pick. Heather, your pick.
I'll go Rotten or Not,
Rotten or
and
not?
I'll go. This has 15%, I believe, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure.
And I can't believe it. It's Karate Kid Part 3.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I would. Now I
It's
have
time for your
argued.
best
Yeah,
karate to
yeah.
I've
come out.
Let's hear
argued
it.
that.
Wait, is that the
3
one?
is
Is that
not-
the one with Jet Li?
No,
No,
what?
Number
Three,
three.
Karate
What's
Kid.
number three about?
Three's the one where
Kata. Tell me
John
you can't listen.
Kreese and
Terry
Terry
Silver?
Silver are basically torturing.
If you're fans of the new Cobra
Danny
Kai
Lewis.
show, they throw a lot of
This
tree.
is why
Oh.
I think
Ricky Barnes.
three got so much better because I initially thought this is terrible. And really, like, three should be part two, and then part two should be three, because
Agreed.
how part two it sets up stakes of like you're living or dying.
We watched an
Fight.
'89 movie last night, and there was a guy in it that was the bad guy from Karate Kid Part 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
But in three, I find that when you watch Cobra Kai the series, you grow an affinity and an affection.
Well, because it's a
Well,
great movie, Hannah, and that's why it's a great choice.
I think
for
the
you.
show makes them because you can really go.
That's quite low.
You have these.
Yeah.
That's very low.
Yeah,
like,
you have
like
these two-
Kickboxer.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
because there's
that's high.
not enough Zapka in
No,
that movie.
the
there's
problem
not-
with the
there's
movie.
not enough Zapka.
The problem is the movie is Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita, where Mr. Miyagi and Johnny LaRusso are owning a bonsai shop. Like
That's nothing wrong with that.
That's so dumb.
He's Japanese.
Plot-wise,
He's allowed to own a
you
bonsai
can
shop.
own a shop, but it made no sense
in
plot-wise
19
and money-wise.
in the 80s.
No, no.
In the 80s, Hannah, that's huge.
The underutilized
It wasn't
thing.
performing well enough for them to warrant.
Why
a
don't
one
we
and
have
half million.
on every shelf in the world that powder where you put the powder on the thing and it solves all issues? Where is that?
Yeah, no, this is.
Then where's that magic powder?
So you're saying that a bonsai business is a terrible idea. Why did Lego
you know
then?
what-
Why did Lego then make it as a part of the
In
Lego
Karate Kid
set?
3, he had to sell it so he could actually get a profitable business.
Babes, you're boring.
Oh, I'm just
come on,
letting
you
you know.
better- you're
I'm letting
better.
you know.
Okay.
This is factual evidence.
Karate Kid 3, Rotten or Not.
No, it's
Love it.
actually a really great.
Oh, that's not rotten.
It's got a.
It was
It's got a
nominated
great
for
ending.
5 Razzies. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes no sense
Should've won
because
them
it's actually
More
pretty
Zapka.
good.
More
Worst
Zapka.
screenplay,
More
worst
Zapka.
director, worst actor, worst supporting actor,
More
Who's
Zapka.
the what? General.
worst picture as well.
I'm going to go.
Talent.
Okay, my pick next.
Great
I
ending
get
too.
2 picks, and I'm going to go action, and I'm going to go Tango and Cash. Cash and Tango. Tango and Cash. I could have got.
I love that movie.
I could have got it in Rotten or Not as well. Actually,
Oh, really?
I think so.
People don't understand action movies.
Um,
That is 100% true. That is one of the greatest.
Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone in the same movie, like, and you know my girl's in this movie too. That's
Terry
why I love
Terry-
it.
yeah,
Terry
Terry
Hatcher.
Hatcher.
No,
31%. I could have got
no,
Lois.
no.
Yeah.
But talk
Lois.
about bad guys in this movie. He was in a few movies in 1989. The bad guy in
Jack
this movie-
Palance.
Yeah, he was also
Yeah.
in Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
There you go.
Just like Mr. Ponytail, you know, just
Shame.
shame.
Huh, you know you don't wear white after Labor Day.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know why. Like it was made by Goober and Peters. Peters, notorious guy. He was actually portrayed in the Licorice Pizza. Goober is a minority owner of the Warriors in the basketball.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, just
I thought
yeah.
you were going to say the NRL, and I was going to be like,
No.
And how good does Kurt Russell look like as a lady? Like,
Love it.
love it. He's
Love it.
just great.
Yeah, before his time.
is it
Before his
ranked as a top 10 buddy cop film, or is it outside the top 10?
Well,
It doesn't get enough.
Lithwip has 4 spots in the top.
It doesn't get enough. It doesn't get its due. It doesn't get its due.
Yeah.
Like,
It is true.
I think it needed.
It
If
is a lot.
I love Kurt Russell in this movie,
Yeah.
and I believe what they were trying to get was Sylvester Stallone and Arnold to do this movie together.
That would have been amazing.
It would have just been, but they were in their
Peaks
of
rivalry.
war versus war, and great movies come from that. But Kurt Russell just was the right person at the right time for this movie.
Okay, my second pick, I have to go it because I know it won't survive another round. It's in Rotten or Not, Let It Ride. Richard Dreyfuss plays a gambler that has the day of his life and he cannot stop picking winners. I'm very surprised it actually lasted another round, but I just had to do it. And Rotten or Not, you know,
That was the movie that I left on the
Let-
table. That was
Let
the
It
movie I
Ride.
that
It's
was
just a great
exactly
movie.
the movie I left on the table.
Yeah, he hears a recording from his friend who records cab conversations, and he hears that you bet the horse to win, and so he's
Bet the
trying to
horse
give
in.
up. He's trying to give up gambling, and he hears this is a sure thing, so he goes to the racetrack, bets it, puts all his life savings on it. It only wins by a nose, like as a photo finish, and then he goes with a tape to to the trainer and owner because they could get in a lot of trouble for it.
Mm.
And they give him a tip, and he bets it all on this tip. The ticket seller is Robbie Coltrane,
Yeah,
and like he keeps going. He has this relationship with the tip. He has just unbelievable day. Like there's races that he can't get a bet on, and the bet he was going to bet lost.
Yeah.
And so all these things happen, and he ends up having the day of his life. Terry Garr, he's his wife in it. Just like degenerate gamblers, all
Jennifer
through.
Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly's in this movie. Bride of Chucky. Every punter in Australia loves that movie, and it's on every list.
It's
I think it's 17%. Last time I checked on Rotten or Not.
it's a great movie. It is. Every time you go to the races, you've got to watch that before you go. It just gets you fired up. It gets you fired up. The ticket guy. You've got the cop.
Yeah.
You've got the large guy that searches for spots. You know,
His
his
friend
best
Looney.
Looney.
He's like an absolute loser, played by David Johansen. 27% Rotten Tomatoes. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
I also had that in comedy, but I chose it in.
Pete.
Okay.
I was the same thing. I was should have let it go. I should have gone on it.
Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah.
Shoot.
Yeah, it is me, and I've like put myself into a corner of like.
I love when you put yourself in a corner.
It's really bad, the corner, because
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I didn't really watch a lot of films in this category.
I got my horse right
So I'm gonna pick a movie that I actually haven't seen, but I'm going to
Wow.
pick it
Wow.
because
She's
I
pulling
know
a Danny. She's pulling a
I
Danny.
know I got this. Dead Poet Society and drama. Thank you.
Wow, that's a great choice.
Don't need to see it to know it should be there.
Captain, my captain, my captain.
Yeah.
my captain.
Yeah, no, I know the shtick, but I've never watched it myself. You know, that's my life.
You,
know,
you don't
kind
want
of
to
thing.
do any homework for the draft, like.
No,
before
well,
the-
no, there was homework. It was the other movies, but I.
You
was
watched
I
like,
think it's a movie
I'm
that
gonna be honest.
You watched Batman 1989. You crazy cat.
No, well, but that's always on. You know, it's just, no, it was like kind of a lot of the movies I picked, you know, have fallen, and then I realized I backed myself in the corner because my actions, my thrillers are still left, and
Are you
some
su-
of them are mixed, and it's
Are
really
you
hard.
surprised this?
I don't really have a solid drama. I
Are
would
you
say.
surprised this didn't win Best Picture?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense.
This
And
is
like
just perfect Oscar
and
bait.
like Robin Williams
Yeah.
is like best
I don't know,
actor.
I don't
Like,
need to see it
he's
to
so
know
good
this
in
is,
that movie.
this
Like
is-
he's literally.
but
yeah.
do you know who's underrated in that movie? He's fantastic in that movie. Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
He is brilliant in
He
that
plays
movie.
the quiet guy quite well because
Yeah.
it's like it's and then
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Peter Weir directed. Just what a movie! Like
movie.
absolutely. Watching the Christopher Reeve story
yeah.
documentary, and I did not know how close Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve were. They were roommates at college, like acting school. And Glenn Close in Christopher Reeve's story says if Christopher Reeve never died, Robin Williams would still be here.
They were that close.
She did.
Mate, I was in tears. What a legend, Robin Williams. Great comedic actor. Great dramatic actor.
Dramatic.
He's brilliant in this movie.
Did he? He's in. God damn it! Don't worry, I forgot. He
He-
reprised the exact same role later on in the movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
He does. But he's just brilliant in this. Like there's been knockoffs of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just absolute iconic.
It's usually in everyone's like.
I think
top
everyone's
movie
had one of
pick.
those teachers. I think that's why the movie
Yeah.
resonates with someone because you always had a
That's why
teacher
people
that
like
did
it.
care about you or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
put
it's
in the effort.
it's like the To Sir with Love. Ever since that, like there's
Yeah.
always been movies and people
That's-
reflecting on that. Kind of thing.
100%. Great pick.
Yep.
Great pick. And like I really like that you're the co-host of this show and you put in the work. It is
Oh, but you guys have like time. I don't.
Oh.
I never saw them. You were alive when these happened.
you have time. You watch Taylor Swift live stream daily.
Yeah, but that's
Daily.
new. Yeah, but
Daily.
you were there when it was made.
True.
So you can't.
All right. Well. Okay,
Okay.
you guys are done arguing. Okay, good sleep. All right. Let's move on to my comedy. You won't have this one, Danny. I'm pretty sure you won't have this one. Pete, you'll be shocked that you didn't take this one, but it's got to be Major League.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That- yeah.
That's a good pick.
Peter
That's on
loves
my
that.
list.
That
I watch this all the time. Tom Berenger,
Tom Berenger, who is
Renee Russo.
Renee Russo.
God, she's great in this
Love Renee
movie.
Russo.
Charlie Sheen, Wesley
Wesley
Snipes.
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes is not an athlete at all. Every time they show him, he's in slow mo
Yeah.
just because they're trying to make him look faster.
100%.
Win the whole effing thing.
Yeah.
You know, Corbin Burnson.
Corbin Burns.
Psych
Corbin Burns,
Dad.
our favorite psych dad.
Psych
Yeah,
Dad.
that's just great.
Great movie.
Uh,
Cleveland.
never steal home without it.
Cleveland Guardians trying to make the World Series against the New York Yankees. You know, just a great movie. Really good. Great choice, Nick.
Yeah, it's just a solid movie. The sequel was came out. It wasn't as great, but I still enjoyed the sequel of Major League 2.
Yeah.
And also Major League Back in the Minors, starring Scott Bakula. Terrible movie.
Terrible movie.
Terrible movie.
Horrendous movie.
But I've
But
watched
yeah,
it multiple times.
it's great.
Danny, your picks.
All right, got two.
You got
I
two.
have two. All right, so I think this is I got slim picking.
Okay, so Danny, you've got action, drama, Oscar nominee, comedy, and horror thriller yet
Yeah.
to go. You've chosen Wildcard, which is strange.
Yeah.
Rotten or Not, and Blockbuster.
All
But
right.
you've got categories left that are not deep.
Yeah. So I'll go. Okay, I'll go in drama.
Yep.
I'll choose Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee. So it's got Gary Oldman and Dennis Hopper in it,
Oh, I
and it's
love it.
based on a true story, and it's about a Korean war vet, Gary Oldman, who tries to commit suicide, and he gets put into a mental institution, and then all these horrible things happen to him, and he ends up writing what's been happening to him and fellow inmates to like people outside, and it all comes out, and there's a massive investigation, and they change the way that mental health patients were treated. Did I say it was based on a true story?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
Director of this movie was the director of The Bodyguard.
yeah,
Oh wow.
Don't
great.
even say- don't even say anymore.
31-year-old Gary Oldman. Yeah, he's really he's
This is also-
Ned-
11
Ned Beatty.
I'm Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah.
Wow.
I was in my.
How
it was
did you
in my room.
find this?
Oh, just looking.
Wow.
Just
It's
looking.
a great pick. That's why you're on this podcast. You
great.
picked some weird stuff that we've learned about two movies today. Never seen that, never known anything about it, and I love it. Gary Oldman,
Hang on, the chicken is really good.
Pamela
Frances-
Reed.
Yeah.
Frances McDormand's in it. Pamela Reed was in Kindergarten Cop. Frances McDormand, like so many Best Actress nominees and wins. Gary Oldman, just great. JFK as Lee Harvey Oswald, doesn't get any better. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, wow. And
This was his like second or third
Yeah.
movie, I think.
unbelievable. Just a great actor.
All right, that's
You get another
my
pick, Dan.
Yeah, sweet. All right, I'll save my. So I'm gonna have to go action here, I think. So in action, I'm gonna go Pink Cadillac.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Your boy,
yeah.
Clint Eastwood in
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah.
Yes. I
Uh,
remember watching this movie as a kid.
Clint Eastwood and the chick. She's like a singer / actor. What was her name? Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
just-
stage actress.
He's a bounty hunter,
Yeah.
and she's one of his targets, and they ended up falling in love, and yeah. So the director is a guy called Buddy Van Horn,
Mhm.
and he was Clint Eastwood's longtime stunt double. For some reason, he
Oh.
got into directing, and he ended up only directed 3 films, all Clint Eastwood movies.
Yeah. But he's still like doing stunt coordination now. Like
Yeah.
he died in 2021, but he did stunt coordination for In the Line of Fire.
Yeah.
He worked on Deadpool with him. He worked on Jay Edgar, a stunt coordinator, Gran Torino, Changeling, like just absolutely unbelievable.
There's a great Jim Carrey cameo in this. He's there like in this casino, and he's in the background as like a Elvis impersonator / comedian. It's pretty funny, eh?
He also directed Any Which Way You Can, which is the follow-up to the hit Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great
Great
movie.
movie.
I don't know.
Right turn, Clyde.
Clint Eastwood must be like 50, 60 in it.
Yeah.
Still quite ripped. Looking
Just-
good.
Just
Clint looking good.
I think he was only 50. He's just
Yeah.
ripped in that movie. He's
Yeah.
really ripped. Danny, you're bringing it today. Like those two movies, actually 3 of your movies, I didn't think they were going to be chosen on this list. I didn't even know about Chattahoochee. I've heard about the Feebles before because of Peter Jackson. And Pink Cadillac, like, yeah, I watched it and I was like, I don't think it's going to get chosen. And like, bang. And that's why you're on this podcast. Great work.
Great.
Nick,
So,
Okay, I'll let you know what you've got left, Nick.
oh, don't worry. This one I've
You've got action, drama,
It's on the list.
rotten or not, or wild card.
okay. So
Traditional way of doing this.
I'm gonna do this. This is really just a take back from when he took Let It Ride from me. So I'm gonna take this in rotten at 17%. I'm gonna go Her Alibi.
Oh,
Shots fired. Shots fired. Great movie. Tom Selleck absolutely plays a writer. Down at his luck, can't find
Peter
to
Swift.
finish. Peter Swift can't finish the story, and is in a courtroom, and he sees this woman who's been arrested for murder.
Yep.
And
Romanian.
a Romanian, yes, a
Paula
Romanian,
Pochowski.
yes.
She's a model in real life.
Basically a family of circus clowns, and she is being put up as a.
Directed by Bruce Beresford, who also directed Drive Miss Daisy.
Why is it so bad?
really?
What's so bad about it?
It's nothing bad.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't
It's
be.
fine.
It's a solid movie.
It's
It is a
fine.
solid movie. It's
He's
It's
downplaying.
fine.
he loves this movie.
Yeah,
he loves
he's
this
definitely-
movie.
he
He's
watched
so
this
good.
thing.
Is it a courtroom drama?
He watched
There's
it the
a little
other
bit of
week.
there's a little bit of courtroom. There's a little bit of courtroom.
It's like mistaken identity.
He
like she's
watched it the other week, and I heard him howling, laughing at the TV.
There's scenes where he thinks that she's so he
trying to kill him.
he gets her out of jail
Yeah.
and says that she was with her they're lovers. Then he keeps her at her house. The cops are after trying to prove them wrong,
Mhm.
and accidents happen to him. So
The,
he gets
he's
gets shot
offside
with a
as the
Baron-
voice of
Baron-
Kit.
Yeah.
Also in Boy Meets World.
Gets shot with a bow and arrow by her by accident. There's a whole scene where the house blows up. He thinks she's trying to kill him, and
Yeah,
and
he
he's
plays
but
Phil
he starts-
Blackwood, the writer. Famous character. Is Peter Swift, and you know he thinks he's doing all these things, but he's actually writing it, and he's doing it the exact opposite. You know, he's like a bumbling fool.
and it is just a great movie. It's a good watch, and you can't go wrong. And I can't believe it's 17% on Rotten Tomato.
You know
Were
what?
you going to choose this? Was this in your?
It
This
was my
was- this
runner.
wa-
It was my runner or not, but when he didn't have Let It Ride, I just chose it. It was great. It was
Yeah,
great.
that's see, shots. Love it.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to choose it in comedy.
I had a better movie for Rotten or Not, but I just remembered Her Alibi was there, and I was like,
Hannah, take it away.
I'm gonna pick Thriller. I'm gonna pick Thriller, and I'm going to pick Black Rain with my boy Ridley Scott directing.
"Get all black."
Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas going to Japan and kind of just, pursuing his own sort of like revenge against
Andy
people.
Garcia literally losing his head.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's very
It's,
tragic.
it's a good reminder when you watch these movies how different movies were in 1989 to now.
They-
Like some of these
100%.
movies, they're all like 15 to 20 million. That's how much it costs to make. They don't make that much money, but they just churn them out.
They turn them out, and like this movie in particular, like it's got this whole like, I don't know, it feels B-rated, but it's somehow just like classy action, like thriller action. Like Michael Douglas is just like, yeah, like he is just going through like people in Japan, and it's just great. It's just great. He constantly is being shocked by everything that happens. I can't believe it's so dirty, and because what happens is that someone unfortunately is murdered, and he's pursuing this case back in New York, and it leads to the Yakuza in Japan, and so he has to travel all the way, even though he's kind of a off-duty cop. Like he's got this cool motorcycle. Like he's supposed to be the coolest guy around, and I don't know, Ridley Scott really he's doing a Tony Scott impersonation in this movie, and it's really good. Really just a solid action movie. And you know what? That's like over 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's
What does
better
that
than
have to do with
most.
the price of eggs?
I'm just saying it's better than most.
It's okay.
It's an enjoyable film.
It's a really good.
You
film.
love the Douglas.
I do love the Douglas, and Andy Garcia losing his head in this movie. Is
Yeah, I was
just out of
shocked by
nowhere.
it.
Who chose
when I watched
that? Does anyone choose this in the Ridley Scott draft?
I think I did.
Hannah did.
So
Hannah
you
just
didn't have to watch it again.
like seriously. If you've ever seen any drafts, Hannah just chooses the same movies over and over
Yeah,
again.
because I stand by them. I pick a hill, I die on it. There you go.
You do pick hills and you do die on.
Yeah,
That's
and my hills are pretty good.
that's
They're
huge.
fair calls, but
Ridley
they're fair
Scott.
calls.
Okay, my choice. I'm going to choose in Blockbuster. I'm very surprised this movie
Yeah.
still exists on the Blockbuster. It's Back to the Future Part
Because
2.
it's the worst one out of the three.
No, and that's wrong. And I want to the Sports Almanac is just a thing. As a kid, I wanted this. I wanted my future self to give this to me so I could bet on all the sports events. Like the hoverboard, the kids' hoverboard, like just
The lace, the
I just
shoes
love
that
it.
lace them up.
So
You're
you're
fired.
saying the things that in the movie is what you want, not the actual movie itself.
the
Because
movie's great. The movie's
movie
great when
has
they
one
go
of the
back and
best
interact with
endings.
the.
it has one of the best
Best-
lines in it, and it's the Doc's alive. He's in the Old West, but he's still alive.
Setting
That-
up the third
that- and
and
that sets up the
second
third one.
best movie.
No one in the history of mankind thinks the third one is the best one.
No, it's
no,
not.
No, it's not
Yeah.
the best one, but it goes.
It's the
It
third
goes,
best.
it goes 1,
No.
3, and 2.
It goes 1, 2, and 3.
No, 1, 3.
Like,
3 is so absurd that
3
it's fun.
is stupid.
Yeah, it's
like,
stupid. It's
2
fun.
is great.
2 is just
The flying DeLorean.
So,
Yeah,
you're,
it's
so,
cool.
you're, so you're saying that the way they explain time travel, that's how you're going to say that
Love
works?
it. When he goes back in the casino, the casino's there out of nowhere. It's just brilliant. His
Yeah.
dad gets shot. Like it just makes no sense whatsoever, and I love it. And that's why I've selected Back to the Future Part 2 in the box office.
What's your opinion on Back to the Future?
I have not seen them in a while, so I don't have one.
It's,
Dog.
It's
Yeah.
great.
look, yeah.
It's really great having you on this
2
podcast.
is, 2 is the worst
Yeah,
one.
I've got lots to offer.
2 is the worst one, I'll tell you.
2 is the worst one. Are you?
It's just not sound like it dips, it becomes boring. Like after the initial, wow, I'm in the future, then you're like, oh, he's in the future now and he's gonna just do things.
It
It's
has
just
the
like,
that
it's
movie's
not-
all about. It's all about the
the only
almanac.
thing
It's all
good,
about
the
the
only thing
almanac,
good is Biff like being a villain and like
the
going back in
hoverboard,
time.
and
Like,
the Air Max.
him somehow growing
That's it.
some like genius, like actually going back and doing some stuff, like wild.
My next pick is I think one of my favorite movies as a kid. We actually saw this as a family at the cinema Saturday night. We never, like, because we were a big family, we never used to go to the cinema a lot together. We used to go individually with parents and stuff. We actually all went to see this movie, and it's totally inappropriate for people, but as we're our age, like we took Nick and he was like 4 years old.
Little Mermaid is not inappropriate, Pete. Come on, Pete.
Weekend at Bernie's. Loved it. Jonathan Silverman, Andrew McCarthy, Terry Kisser as Bernie. I still find it, like, I rewatched it for the draft and I found it funny. I was still cracking up. Like,
Yeah.
I know some people don't think it holds up, but it still makes me laugh.
I like how he's he tries to school the chick.
Yeah.
like, lies to her,
Yeah,
and then he's like, I won't do it again. Immediately, literally the next word that comes out of her
100%.
lies to her.
great. Love it.
The whole back and forth scene with the killer that keeps seeing him all thinking he's alive,
Yeah,
and keep
so
going
good.
back and going, and starts losing his mind.
Because he like
The whole bit where he sees him on the boat, he's finally done it. He's like, I got him, I finished him off, and then he sees him skiing, and then he's like, Bernie!
What a win.
And the kid at the end,
Oh, just a kid.
Hey,
Can I
"Can I miss you?"
Oh,
And then it sets up Bernie's body. They go in number 2 where they go to Jamaica.
yeah.
Oh,
Jermaine, that movie was not good, but this first one was really good. I enjoyed that.
come on, the whole voodoo. Hannah knows about voodoo. You don't mess with
And then-
Hannah,
Voodoo.
your choice.
My choice, weirdly enough, I'm gonna put this in action. I'm gonna put this movie in action because it's actually a comedy action. It's Three Fugitives.
Oh, Hannah.
Yes. I'm
I
gonna put
totally forgot I could
That
have
was
taken
one,
this
one of
one.
those ones that you could take, and she'd be very upset.
Have you
about.
seen this
Yeah.
one? Have you seen this one, Denny?
Yeah.
oh,
It's actually
Denny.
stars Martin Short and Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like a cute kid in this. James Earl Jones plays an FBI agent on
Good
the.
cast.
Who's really bad at his job.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. He's terrible at
He's
job.
terrible at his job.
Martin Short
So-
robs the bank.
Yeah, Manshot is a bank robber, and Nick Nolte just got out of prison. He's got to make himself good. You know, he wants to be a good guy now. But Manshot, who's terrible at robbing banks because it's his first time doing it, takes him hostage, and everyone thinks it's Nick Nolte who's causing it. And then they have to go on the run, and Manshot has a daughter, and it's this weird pairing of these three just work. Are very funny. It's very adorable, very cool. Like there's this really funny scene with Martin Short where he's told by Nick Nolte, you gotta act cool. You gotta act like you're not a criminal. And so he's like walking the street and he's like, keep your head down and stuff. And so he's walking the street and he walks past 2 cops and he's putting his head down, but he walks straight into a pole.
The whole scene
It's so
where they're trying to get Nick Nolte medical, and they go into the vet surgery.
Oh, there's
like,
the chase scenes are great in this movie. Like there's this whole even bit towards the end where they've had to dress Mancho as a woman and pretend to be a married couple to cross the Canadian border. Yeah. Anyway, it's this fun comedy action that it's just really enjoyable. It shouldn't work because everyone is.
And the whole thing,
terrible.
the whole premise is Martin Short becomes a bank robber because his daughter needs special care because she doesn't talk because her mother died. And the first person she starts talking for is Nick Nolte's character.
Yeah, it's
So
one of those. It's just like
it's
obvious.
it's just great. It's an amazing movie. Great choice,
Heartwarming action. Bam bam.
Nick. So what have I got left, Pete?
It's good that you're on track, Nick.
Yeah.
Action, drama, wild card.
I'm gonna go wild card in this one.
Oh,
Terrible choice. You go action, drama, mate.
No,
You
no,
lead with it.
no. I'm gonna go with wild card on this one. And it's gonna it's probably if you ever know me, there's a
terrible
couple of actors that I love, Kevin Costner and Sean Connery, and I'm gonna go with Sean Connery in this one, and it's Family Business. It's about
Oh,
a
wow.
mob family, and it's got Matthew Broderick in it and
Dustin Hoffman.
and it's all about a mob family and all their problems they have, and it's just Sean Connery plays the father in it. Amazing.
Dustin Hoffman is trying to be the person that has gone straight of the family, and then the son he hooks up with the grandfather, and they try and do a crime, and then Dustin Hoffman gets involved. Yeah, it's quite heartwarming.
It's a great movie,
Wow.
and
Heartwarming.
it's
The
one of those.
heartwarming
it's
is
one of
when
those-
people try to be criminals.
It's one of those movies where it's a comedy, drama, action kind of movie, crime. So
Same as,
it's definitely a wild card. It's a good time. You never go wrong with.
This is
Sean
where
Connery.
your choice is poor, because that movie was going to be available at Wildcard next round. But maybe action drama, Danny's going to take it. Like terrible.
I'll be fine.
Danny, you get 2 picks, mate.
All right, so
There's still some movies.
I might as well take it now. So with comedy,
Yep.
I'm taking Going Overboard. It's
Really?
Adam Sandler's first ever movie.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a pretty bizarre movie. It's low budget, like it's very low budget. The movie doesn't make any sense whatsoever because he's on a
What are we
cruise.
drafting with? Like,
No,
what
I
are
love it. No,
we, what
no,
are
no,
we,
no, this
what
is
are we
great.
drafting with?
He's on a cruise, and then for some reason there's all these super attractive women, and it's like they're in a beauty contest, but there's no beauty contest on the boat. One of them's an Australian, but she mouths off about this evil general who then attacks the boat. He's a young up and coming comedian who's trying to make it, and it's got a great some great cameos from Billy Zane, who plays
Billy
the-
Zane.
Neptune, this god
Yeah,
of
yeah.
sea.
Yeah.
Actually him, but he's dressed up in the most lamest outfit. He's got like a plastic
No, that's what
thing.
you want from a movie.
and then also Billy Bob Thornton, a great little cameo from Billy Bob Thornton.
Wow.
Adam Sandler's the least funniest person in the entire movie.
That might work.
It's just I don't know how this movie got made. I don't know whose idea it was. There's also a great cameo from I'll see if I'll just get him up here.
Like
Oh, I-
Danny's picks today, it did not even dawn on me any of these movies getting chosen.
Yeah, but it's
Milton
already-
Berle.
Yes.
It's not a bizarre he's hilarious in it. He's hilarious in it.
The fact that you thought you thought so little of this draft, and you found these movies. Like, what the hell? There's some great movies you haven't chosen, bruv.
Yeah, no, there is. Directed by a chick called Valerie Breeman, who doesn't have any internet search
Awesome.
history, which is hilarious.
Awesome.
I love
All right, Danny, you got one more pick. You either got horror thriller,
Or
Oscar nominee.
okay, so I'll do this movie now because that will still be available later. So for horror thriller, I'm going to take A Dry White Season, which is it's set in South Africa during apartheid.
it.
It's very very intense. Donald Sutherland's the main character.
Yes.
It's also Susan Sarandon. But the best part of this movie is Marlon Brando, who, you know how there's that thing about Marlon Brando, he reads from
Yeah,
cards,
cards.
you can't not notice because
Yeah.
every time he's looking, because he's mailing it in, and every time he's looking down. He plays a lawyer who's representing
But how did he get nominated for this
I
movie?
don't know. It's laughable. The movie's really serious. So it's about this white family who employs this black man, and his son gets killed in a riot, and then it's
Yeah.
about them trying to get justice for the son. But everyone, like the father, starts investigating. He gets killed. Donald Sullivan, spoiler alert, his character ends up getting killed
wow.
by the corrupt, obviously apartheid
Like,
South African government.
Jurgen Puncher, who's the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's all-time bad guy.
He is a great bad guy.
All-time bad guy. He plays a funny bad guy in Beer Fest. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
plays the father.
Yeah.
But, like, he's sort of playing a riff on his, like, bad guy. But he's a great bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop 2, I think he's a bad guy in that.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so good. Like, just brilliant. Absolutely
Marlon
brilliant.
Brando he's the lawyer who represents the
Yeah.
family. He's in a court scene. Court scene.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Denny, that's mate, that wasn't going to get picked, so I think you would have had that was safe. I really do think that was safe.
Same for
So you put that in a horror thriller. You
Yeah.
could have put that in an Oscar nominee, but you could have. Nick, your choice.
Oh, so that's what I was going to say. It's interesting that how prevalent, obviously, apartheid was on everyone's mind because
Yeah.
2 movies in this year that South Africans are the jerks.
100%.
People.
And also, that was the time where people were boycotting.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was huge. It was a blockade. There was a lot of protests going on. So yeah, right up there. Nick.
So I want to prove a point about action.
I want to prove a point that your drafting has been terrible.
So I'm going to leave action to last because I want to prove
Because
that
you couldn't pick any action.
because
movies
there are
this year.
so many action movies. It's so deep
It's
and
very deep, actually.
you won't have to go on. So I've got drama.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with a movie that I remember as a young person, my brother would put on and we'd watch with Denzel Washington, Matthew Broderick,
Yeah.
Glory.
Wow.
Oh man. God.
Great movie. That cast, if you've ever seen that
Oh,
cast, that
Morgan
is one of
Freeman?
the stacked casts. Our favorite Despero himself,
Oh,
Carry
yeah,
on,
carry
Cary
on.
Ells.
Yeah. About the Civil War,
About Civil War. It is about
First Black Regiment.
Black
Loves-
Regiment
loves it.
trying to stop back the tides of the war. It's absolutely just a brilliant movie. The actual action scenes in this movie, again, this movie could have been in action as well.
Yeah.
because the action scenes in this
Andre
movie.
Braugher, who we lost this year with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just he's
Oh, yeah.
great in this movie as well. J.O. Sanders is in this movie.
Morgan Freeman. We didn't even say Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's in this movie. He's amazing in this movie.
Mentioned him twice, but
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anyway,
Like
Edward Zwick, who's wrote a book this year about Hollywood. Long-term producer, produced Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. Like he directs in this movie. Not really a highly successful movie. Like only made $20 million this year in the box office, but that's a tough movie to watch. Really is.
and I remember seeing it as a 8-year-old because my brother thought it'd be a great movie to watch, and
Yeah.
it was. It was true. It was a great movie to watch.
Could have been an Oscar nominee as well. But great movie. Yeah, brilliant.
Yep. Right away.
Take shots at me and then goes, brilliant.
Fine.
That's good.
Not that
That's
great.
good.
Her alibi still hurts.
No, I already
No,
had my
it was
rotten
good.
night. I took your rotten night. It's fine.
You go with me?
Yeah.
Comedy. I don't know how this still on the board, but I'm gonna go with the classic cop movie,
Here we go.
Cop and Dog,
Oh, wow.
the best one of this year because it's 2. Turner and Hooch. Baby.
Wow.
Because
gonna go Turner
I was typing K9.
No, I haven't seen Get Out to be honest, and I wouldn't choose it. And I will tell you, there's Anyway,
This
Turner
movie
and
was
Hooch.
highly successful too.
Yeah.
And this is before
movie
Tom
works.
Hanks actually went to his dramatic sort of
Yeah.
spin.
He's going, and this is one of my favorite. This is where I'm like, I can do with Tom Hanks because he's just doing the with the dog, and it just everyone's had if you've ever had a dog that just won't listen to you and you're just yelling at it all the time. this
I'll
is
shoot you, Hooch. I'll shoot
yeah,
you.
there's something that works with this movie. This back and forth buddy cop that they have. This is like great investigating work, and like when a dog tries to take a bullet for you, you're like, oh my god, this movie. Yeah, it's probably one of the better dog movies. One of the best. I like. There's a lot of cop
It's a
movies
great
this year,
Tom
and it actually
Hanks
works.
movie.
It's one of the best. Yeah,
It's
one,
one of his
of my
best.
favorite.
It's
Tom
very
Hanks
sad.
movies.
Have you seen this one, Denny?
Does have a sad,
I-
but
I've definitely seen
it's
it. but I'm not
sad,
sure.
Very
and
sad
then has a
time.
very happy ending.
Yeah.
Very fun
sure.
ending. It's very fun
the other
ending.
one-
They were
better.
trying to remake this as a TV show on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Did not work.
with Josh Peck. And
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
No.
I watched it. It was
Is
not
it
good. It was
Top
like
10 saddest movies for involving dogs.
Oh,
Old
no.
Yeller.
No.
Old Yeller.
no,
definitely not.
no, because you like the dog. Yeah.
Well,
it did,
then-
it
Well,
did
you
what
can
it did.
spoil it.
Yeah, yeah.
Spoil it.
I don't want to
headshot.
give it away.
He said the dog
I just
jumped
said
in
the
front
dog-
of a bullet. To
Turner
save
and
them.
Hooch impregnate their loved ones.
Oh, yeah,
I
they-
am, no.
So-
I Legend. I am Legend.
Oh,
No,
that is
no.
no. We're not going to talk about that.
No, anyway,
No.
but no, because Tom Hanks has.
That's not sad. That's not.
That
sad
is so.
movie.
That is
That's
so
sad.
sad.
No, Tom Hanks is having a
No,
relationship with a
you
vet.
cannot bring up that. That is
We're not bringing our
top
Legend.
three.
He
That is
didn't
top three.
listen.
That was sad.
No, see, that
Uh,
dog didn't
no,
listen.
no.
Hooch was
No,
trying to
I
save him.
can't. No,
But in Turner Hooch, Tom Hanks is having a relationship with the vet who also has a dog. who
And he
Turner
impregnates
is
her.
Also,
thank you.
yeah.
And
I'm
Hooch.
explaining it
and-
because you just said they impregnate their partners. What did Tom Hanks have another dog? Like I don't know why.
Whoa.
You're gonna mention these facts.
Oh, and let's not forget his partner or the guy that he's training. His partner
Oh,
is
Rena's going to be
Oh,
yes,
Belle Johnson
yeah.
from Family
Family
Matters.
Matters, and also Die Hard.
Yeah,
I shot a kid. That
Shut
guy.
up, kid.
That guy's
That's
great.
right.
yeah.
No, a very lovely film.
Yeah,
Good
great
comedy. Very funny.
For me, I've got my final two picks. I've got horror thriller,
You got a lot of ground to make up.
and wildcard. Look, that's normally what you're supposed to do. You pick two categories towards the end, So, horror thriller. There's two movies that I want to sort of mention here that I'm really toing and froing, but probably the best thriller I'm going to choose. But I want to mention Sea of Love. Man, that's a good thriller. Al
That's,
Pacino, Ellen Barkin.
you're not choosing
some
it?
sleeky sex scenes in that movie. Yeah, unbelievable. But the movie that I'm choosing is Dead Calm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I thought you were going to say Ghostbusters too.
Dead Calm, produced by George Miller,
Mm.
stars young Nicole Kidman,
Mm.
Sam Neill as her husband,
Wow.
and Billy Zane as the bad guy.
Man.
Love
Man.
that guy.
It's
Two
about-
pieces of shit, Billy Zane.
It is about a couple that go through a tremendous loss, and then they go on a boat, and then their boat comes across a stranded ship, and they pick up Billy Zane, and then it just goes from there. Like
Is he a psycho?
100%. Like how like he's a psycho on Titanic. He dials this up even more, and you know how much he dialed up in that movie.
Yeah.
This movie is great. I really enjoyed Dead Calm. Really enjoyed it. Last pick, Wildcard. Just to prove that comedy was so deep here, the Wildcard's going to be my
I can't
comedy.
believe no one's. If you choose this, I'll be. I'm surprised no one's chosen this movie yet.
I'm going Uncle Buck.
Oh yeah.
John Candy.
Yeah.
Now, I had a choice between two John Candy movies. The other one is Who's Harry Crumb. Very funny movie, but I class that more as a telly movie than as a movie. Because in Australia it was released as a telly movie and it was sort of like it was going to be like a TV show. But the movie that I chose is Uncle Buck. Now, Macaulay Culkin's in this, young
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. Gabby Hoffman again. John Hughes directed this movie. I love John Candy. Like, what a loss when he died. He's very funny. He plays the emotional bits really well. He goes and looks after his brother's kids who his sister-in-law's father's really crook. And he's sort of a bit of a loser. He's a tire salesman. And it's just, you know what? It makes you feel good. Every time it's on, I watch it. There's some funny bits where he makes a big stack of pancakes and it's just really good. It's a really cute movie and it's a good
It is.
wild card.
Great.
That is
Great
my
wild
draft.
Great.
Hannah,
My
your
draft by
final
wild
pick.
card?
Your final pick.
It's my wild card.
We got-
Is
Oscar nom.
so it's between there's like three big animated movies that came out. Two of them not as successful as one. But I'm not going to pick the biggest animated movie that was successful this year, even though it was revolutionary. Some say.
Is that Little Mermaid?
Yeah, but I'm going to
She hates
pick.
Little Mermaid.
Really?
No, I hate the
Wow.
story. I don't hate the movie. I like its Renaissance period because the next movie gets better. But the movie I'm going to pick is actually Kiki's Delivery Service, which is a Studio Ghibli film.
Wow.
This is a classic in the roster, and it is about a girl. She's 13. She turns 13. She's a witch, and so she needs to go off on her own and discover, being an adult. Basically, that's what happens. What I love about all these Studio Ghibli films is that they really have, compared to the 16-year-old who just wants to smooch a guy on land, you have a 13-year-old witch who has to basically learn how to become a woman, and it's like two very different stories. And yeah, you get this really cute story, and she like has to learn between whether she wants to be like focusing on her witch powers and then learning to grow up. And it's this really great, beautiful story, lovely music, really interesting. There's like really cute Gigi cat. That's what it's most known for. But
Great
yeah,
choice, then.
no, it's
You love
It's-
Studio Ghibli stuff, and good on you.
it's one of the best.
That's a good draft, Hen. Not a great draft, good draft.
I won.
Nick, your final category is action.
One of my favorite things of Peter and Hannah's podcast is always the reviews when you do honorable mentions, especially with this year of 1989 action. There's so many movies that have been left on the floor for action, like Ghostbusters 2.
It's an action movie.
That is an action movie. It's an action comedy. The Killer with John Woo. John Woo's
That is
The
a good
Killer.
movie. They
I
really
think-
have that issue.
Have you seen An Innocent Man with Tom Hanks?
License to Kill.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
License to
Selleck,
Kill.
sorry.
One of the great James Bond movies.
We should talk about Innocent Man.
We
Um,
should.
a
Yeah,
comedy,
it is.
a comedy slash action movie. Fletch Lives.
Yeah, Danny's got some choices, so maybe
Yeah,
you
can
choose
you
yours, and then we
pick
do
yours
honorable
and
mention
then
at the
we'll
end.
discuss?
Oh, sorry. I just like to do that because the Pete does it all the time. I
Yeah.
love
No,
that.
that's at the end.
I love that cut. It's got to be the better version of dog comedy, dog and Colin.
Check
Wow.
check
Are
the
we
meat,
choosing both dog movies?
So
Check the
both dog
meter,
movies
mate.
are getting picked, and it's Canine. It's
check the meter, mate. It's
Jim
not.
Belushi and Jerry Lee. Just a great comedy duo. They
Oh,
have
and he survives.
and they have multiple movies. They have three,
Yeah.
Hannah.
Yeah, but-
And
okay.
it's the same dog. He even gets shot. He survives, and then Jim Belushi's there pouring out his heart, and then he goes, "You asshole." Well, it's great. And then they go to Las Vegas together.
Seen Kano?
I definitely would.
Yeah.
Jim Belushi, amazing, absolute me. It's just great.
You are the highbrow of this podcast.
I've seen all these movies as a kid. Yeah.
Canine, just an absolute movie. Jim Belushi just batting 100, and I don't think you can see two better dog and cop movies in the same year,
No,
but
get
you
the
do.
same year.
It's the same year. Turner and Hooch and
Virtually,
Canine, and
yes.
Canine wins.
All right,
No.
Danny.
You're wrong.
Uh,
Your
Check the
last
meter,
pick
mate.
is Oscar nominee.
So, you guys have seen Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Do you know where that comes from? Band of Brothers?
World War II.
No. So it's actually the
Deep
name.
cut.
The name where they get Band of Brothers from.
Oh, right.
We few, we happy few, we Band of Brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. That's from Henry V. My selection is Kenneth Branagh.
Chris
Henry
Brenner,
V.
yeah.
Wow, that's a good choice, then.
Yeah. Obviously, it's just based on Shakespeare's play.
Yeah.
The cast is amazing. I'll read you who's in the cast.
Good
It's solid.
choice.
Yeah, it's solid.
Paul Schofield, Derek Jacobi, Ian Holm, Brian Blessed, Emma Thompson, Judi Dench, Robbie Coltrane, Christian Bale.
That's a great cast.
Kenneth Branagh is great. He's really young in it. He plays the role really well.
Yeah.
It depends.
He's amazing.
A very accessible Shakespeare. It's like, not
It
they haven't
is.
Shakespeare'd
It is.
it up. It's like you can actually sit there and watch it.
Danny, remember, if I can't
It
have
has
you, then no one can. Love Kenneth Branagh. Love it.
Come on.
So that's it. That's it for the draft. Let's recap. I went action, Tango and Cash, drama, When Harry Met Sally, Oscar nominee, Field of Dreams, comedy, Weekend at Bernie's, horror thriller, Dead Calm, blockbuster, Back to the Future 2, Rotten or Not, Let It Ride, and wild card, Uncle Buck. Denny went action, Pink Cadillac, drama Chattahoochee, Oscar nominee Henry V, comedy Going Overboard, horror thriller A Dry White Season, blockbuster Lethal Weapon 2, and Rotten or Not, Kickboxer, and in Wildcard Meet the Feebles, which is number one pick. Danny doesn't get how to draft this.
love
Number one.
He could have had Meet the Feebles right at the end.
I love it how number one. That's the number one.
Hannah
Yes.
went Three Fugitives in Action. Dead Poet decided she'd never seen before in drama.
But I know,
that's right up there with
just-
that's right up there with Danny.
Danny
Picking A Few Good Men and then getting the line wrong. Oscar nominee
That was
Do the
pretty
Right
good,
Thing. Comedy Turner and Hooch. Horror thriller Black Rain. Blockbuster. You guys were just so weak not taking Batman. Rotten or Not, Karate Kid Part 3, and Wildcard Kiki's Delivery Service. Like, she's chosen so many of those movies every time. Like, I think she's chosen a Studio Ghibli movie in the past as well. Like,
Yeah, I did.
so original. Nicholas, his first draft, probably his last. Action Canine, drama
Can he ever
Glory,
recover?
Oscar nominee Last Crusade, comedy Major League, Roadhouse for a horror thriller, which was dubious.
Yeah.
Blockbuster, Christmas Vacation, Rotten or Not, Her Alibi, and Wildcard was Family
I
Business.
think
You
this
had
draft proves
two
my point.
good
This was
movies,
not a
though.
good year for movies.
that?
Because
Not
you
great
chose
movies, not great movies, but it was like very
No,
slung at the
they-
top. The
You
middle
chose
was
weird
very
movies.
good, but it wasn't an all-time.
All right,
I don't know what
Yes.
draft you were in.
let's talk
but-
about movies that we didn't draft. All
There
right,
was a lot.
Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
Didn't draft.
Didn't touch that.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids didn't draft. Ghostbusters 2. We took Nicholas to see that movie as like a 4-year-old. He ran at the screen to say to the ghost, "Don't touch the baby." It was so embarrassing. Drive Miss Daisy. We didn't choose that. Parenthood. I cannot believe no one mentioned
So
Parenthood.
I was going.
Ron Howard directed.
I-
Steve
No
Martin.
one chose Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
I was.
So I was going to.
That's a great movie.
I can't believe no one.
no,
I
So
was like,
I was going to do that in Rotten Tomatoes because it's actually at 17%. It's
Oh, that
shocking.
movie with Gene
It's
Wilder. And
shocking.
I watched a great documentary on Dean Wilder. Like that movie, they talk about in it. Like he can't hear, Richard Pryor can't see. Just so good. The War of the Roses wasn't mentioned. That movie's
I
so
was
popular.
Sorry, expecting you to mention
Kathleen
that one.
Turner, Michael Douglas. This is a great year. Little Mermaid, Steel Magnolias, like Shelby dying. That is
Born on the 4th of July.
Born on 4th of July.
I'm surprised you didn't choose that. Peter. I thought you were like
Yeah,
that.
no.
Harlem Nights, Sea of Love, I've already mentioned. Pet Cemetery, The Abyss. Man, The
No.
Abyss, what a movie.
We were not-
Star Trek 5, Always, which is a Steven Spielberg movie. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The Burbs, which is another Tom Hanks movie. Fletch Lives, a sequel. License to Kill, Nick mentioned that. Lean on Me. Weekend The Dream Team with Michael Keaton. All
yes.
Good Gods Are to Heaven. Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. Steven Spielberg's first movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. Some just unbelievable. The Innocent Man. Now, Hannah mentioned this. Tom Selleck gets pinned for a murder that he
Didn't do.
drug bust, and didn't
Cops
commit.
set him up.
And then he goes to jail, and then someone teaches him how to survive in jail, and that means you have to undead someone in the jail. He does, and so he's not an innocent man anymore. He
Yeah.
actually killed somebody.
He went from a drug charge to murder.
I picked the right. Tom
Catch
Selleck
You in
movie.
War with Michael J. Fox.
Who's gonna move there?
Crime and Misdemeanors. Next to Kin, which is a Patrick Swayze movie. My Left Foot, not mentioned with Daniel Day-Lewis. She-Devil, starring Roseanne Barr and Meryl Streep. Great Balls of Fire, not mentioned. Halloween 5. Young Einstein, the Australian movie, was starring Yahoo Serious.
I would have chosen that.
Oh.
I realized that. That's an absolute
Cyborg, which is another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, not me. True Believer, starring James Woods with a ponytail with Robert Downey Jr., not mentioned. Troop Beverly Hills, Shelley Long, not mentioned. Adventures of Baron Munchausen, not mentioned. It's okay here.
Okay,
It's
okay, yeah.
okay
Not
yeah.
great. Not an all-timer.
The last movie I want to mention is January Man. If you've never seen that, it's a serial killer movie. It stars Kevin Kline as a burnout cop who retires from being a cop and becomes a firefighter. He sleeps with the mayor's daughter, played by Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. She's so young. Susan Sarandon plays the thing as well. It's just a great I love that movie. Any other mentions?
Jenny, you can't say that it's not a great year of movies when look at the movies that we left on the cutting room floor. Like
Yeah.
War of the Roses, like
Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2,
Deep comedy.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Like, just-
prequels.
A lot of
Lot of
sequels.
sequels, lot of sequels.
Yeah.
Driving Miss Daisy. No one picked
Yeah.
Driving
People
Miss Daisy.
keep going and say, oh, Hollywood's dead with sequels. They've been making sequels for 40 years.
And that year is just pumped. It's pumped.
That is it for today's show. Thank you, everyone that has watched, or you can catch up on this on a podcast once I edit all these feeds. That should be fun for me. And I'd like to thank our guests, Danny, once again drafting. Nick, you going to be up for another one?
Everyone like it, and I'll come back. That's for sure.
No one will like it. Hannah, great co-hosting as always. You really delivered here today. Next draft in November is going to be the year 2015. Why did we choose that? Well, before the show, we chose that. Random. Thanks for watching, everyone. Long live cinema, especially the cinema of 1989. And until we meet again, it's bye for now.